So here are some important lessons from the experience, reading, writing, all that, and meeting so many people either on in the physical class or through video like this. So welcome to subramani.com. Please click on the bell icon, and today we will see some of the what I would call as a few investment lessons which you should know. It comes to 8 or 9, but on the way it could be even 10, right? So first of all, something which has been drilled into your head right from day one. I wish it was done when you were in 8th standard and you were told the impact of compounding or the impact of n in the compounding formula. N is of course to the power, so therefore compounding, the most important variable is the number of years which you have invested. So of course the most important thing, an early start will help. Second, it is important to know that your returns depend on the return that you get, or your overall return depends on the return that you get in each asset class. Now, if your asset allocation is wrong, which means you put, let's say, 10% of money into equity and you are 25 years of age or 28 years of age, how is it going to have an impact on your total overall portfolio? Because the only impact it can have is 10%, because that is what you put into it. So when you're younger, you have to put more money into equities so that the power of equities is harnessed over a long period of time. The later you start, the more you're losing. What are you losing? You're losing time. Time is n, right? Don't sit and worry whether compounding will work. Compounding would have worked for your grandfather, compounding would have worked for your father, compounding will work for you. The question is, how much are you compounding, for what period you are compounding, and what is the rate at which you are compounding. So obviously, if you look at your father's PPF account, I am assuming you are a youngster, or your own PPF account if you are above 50, 55, look at the growth that has happened without any application of mind. You just mindlessly kept putting money into it, and today it is a big amount, right? So starting early and compounding is a great combination. Also remember, your equity returns is a function of the dividends plus the industry in which it is working, the growth rate, and the quality of management, right? And therefore, which means PE. So it's a function of all of this. So a future change in the PE ratio can dramatically improve your returns. So today, if a share is available at a PE of 14 and you think it has a potential to go to a PE of maybe 30, you must look at those equity shares where expansion of PE is possible also. But largely you have to look at the fundamentals based on which people are buying as of today, rather than projecting what will happen. That is little difficult, so we will come to that in a different context. Compound interest is always better than simple interest, but in many cases in the beginning of your life, at the start of your life, you are much better off in saving rather than even investing, because saving is far more difficult to do. It is a habit which has to be learned. Investing anyway happens. If you just put it into any mutual fund or even put money in an index fund or try to do it yourself, something will happen, some growth will happen. And since interest rates are so low, currently about 2.5% in a savings bank account in the top nationalized bank, you realize that, well, I have to get a return better than the interest rate that which I am getting. But yes, compounding is better than simple interest. So to that extent, whatever you get, I mean, it's more difficult to compound in a bank fixed deposit than in a debt fund. I've done videos on this separately. Understanding that markets are volatile is easy. Accepting that markets are volatile is very difficult. I find people struggling with the fact that they know all the theory, but when the market goes down, they think they can sell the market and then wait for the market to recover, and then they go and invest again. If life was so simple, there would not be so many theory books on how to invest and how to invest for long, right? Investing is difficult, and investing for the long term is extremely difficult. steer clear of incompetence, corporate governance issues, etc. You have no clue how badly this can visit you. Wherever you know that there is something wrong, just stay away. It can completely wipe you out if there is some prosecution. Thank you.